We'll go to the of today's reports. In the headlines, Makinde mourns as Koleso dies at 86. In Yobe State, 70 feared death in fresh Boko Haram attacks. Federal government says we never asked NNPCL to sell fuel at 1,000 naira per litre. Brigade visits Nigeria for nutrition solutions. We'll take a short break and when we return, we'll go into the details. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now we dive into the details for today. Analysts have stated that the recent South-South Youth Peace Dialogue is a move in the right direction. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout, a political analyst, Ekiye, maintained that the peace initiative will as well foster synergy and an avenue for collaboration between the states and federal governments.
Development for a good collaboration between the state government and the federal government, unlike most states where, because it's not an APC state, it looks as if having federal government programs and projects is being drawn in a party line and seems not to drive the real intention of the federal government. So I'd like to comment.
Meanwhile, Mr. Ekiye commended the Akwa Ibom state government for accommodating across party lines for the benefits of the youths.
The executive governor of Akwa Ibom state for his large heart in accommodating a federal program, and encourage that other state governors should follow such kind of gesture for the development.
Mr. Ikiye's comment is coming as Dr. Jamaila Bayo Ibrahim, the Honorable Minister for Youth Development, has praised the youth and leaders of the South-South region dedication to peace, dialogue, and constructive engagement with the government. Dr. Ibrahim described the youth as exemplary in driving the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. In a different story, Abia State government has concluded plans to train for teachers in the state. The Commissioner for Information, Oke Kanu, disclosed this while briefing the journalists on the outcome of this week's Executive Council meeting presided over by Governor Alex Oti on Monday. He stated that 200 teachers have passed through the training, while the remaining 1,800 would have theirs soon. He said the Abia State Basic Education Board has screened, interviewed, and shortlisted 40 teachers for training under the Abia State School Enhancement Team program. He further disclosed that the posting of security in the state has begun, a measure he said is aimed at safeguarding lives and properties in the schools. Quoting him, he said, "This is part of our wider agenda of the state government to reform our education system. Also, as part of the ongoing reform agenda in the educational system, the promise that the state government has made in the past has come to fulfillment with the posting of security personnel to our schools. Posting security personnel is aimed at securing the lives and property of both the students, teachers, and the properties of the schools involved," he stated. Kanu also revealed that a total of 5,746 ASU-BEB staff have been earmarked for promotion and said that it's a way to motivate the staff for greater productivity. According to him, under the Abia State School Enhancement Team program, the board has screened 40 persons to ensure quality assurance and compliance with school guidelines. The commissioner announced that the state government would commission the needed eye center, an annex of Abia Specialist Hospital at Amachara on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2023, which is today. In a different story, gunmen operating in Anambra State have attacked again a police station in Oba Idemili North local government area of the state. This would be the third recent attack on police in the state, after those of Newi and Nobi, which happened in August, where some operatives paid the supreme prices. In Tuesday morning's attack, reporters gathered that a police corporal, whose identity was not revealed, was killed. Police authorities in Anambra State have confirmed the attack, saying that police operative was killed after a petrol bomb was tossed into the police station by the gunmen who were suspected to be separatist elements. Police Public Relations Officer SP Tochukwu Ikenga, in a reply to the attack in the media, said the suspected armed secessionist group started shooting sporadically in an attempt to gain entrance to the police station and threw petrol bombs at the security facility, which made some of the officers catch up with fire, including the Oba Civic Center. Unfortunately, a police corporal who was fatally wounded paid the supreme price, while the fire was put out with the help of other police officers on duty and the joint security responding team. Ikenga said operations have commenced this morning with police-led joint security forces comprising of the Army, the Navy, Civil Defense, and other security agencies currently in the joint onslaught operation within Oba and its environments. He said the Commissioner of Police, CP Nage Obono Itam, described the attack as invasion of security facilities and hostility towards security agencies, and as an attack on the soul of the nation. He vowed to bring those behind the unholy act to book. Move on to Lagos State, where Lagos State government has said that it is committed to advancing state legal services and access to justice through a variety of strategic policies, laws, and initiatives. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro, stated this during a breakout session on Tuesday of August 27, 2024, with the title State Ministries of Justice in Focus. How are they advancing state legal services, access to justice and the rule of law through policies, laws, and legal services? Lagos State hosted the 64th NBA Annual General Conference with the team pressing forward a national posture for rebuilding Nigeria at the Tafawa Balewa Square, TBS, Onika, Lagos. He spoke during a breakout session on Tuesday, 27th of August 2024, titled State Ministries of Justice in Focus, How Are They Advancing State Legal Services, Access to Justice, the Rule of Law, and Policies, Laws and Legal Services. Lawal Pedro said that the ministry provides legal services to indigent residents of Lagos through the Office of the Public Defender, OPD. Quoting him, this initiative ensures that vulnerable and underprivileged individuals have access to legal representation and advice, regardless of their status in the state, he said. Pedro mentioned that the Citizens Mediation Center, CMC, offers alternative dispute resolution services to help resolve conflicts amicably without resorting to litigation. This service is crucial for reducing the burden on the courts and providing quick and effective solutions to disputes. He further explained that the ministry had undertaken significant renovations and expansion of court facilities across the state. These expansions include the introduction of electronic filing system, case management system, and provision of modern courtroom technology to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of the judiciary. He also stated that regular training programs are conducted for judiciary officers, prosecutors, police, and legal counsel in the ministry. The programs focus on improving legal knowledge, keeping abreast of new laws and technologies while enhancing the overall competency of legal counsel in the state. Quoting him, he said, to uphold the rule of law, the ministry has been proactive in its anti-corruption drive, working closely with other agencies. These effects are aimed at promoting transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct with the public service and beyond, Pedro said. Speaking earlier at the special Lagos Day, the AG said that the event was organized to showcase Lagos' cultural heritage and innovative strides at one of Africa's largest gatherings of legal professionals. He said, Lagos aims to showcase its progress and such transformation, healthcare, education, and economic development. This provides an opportunity to demonstrate how the state is pressing forward, in quotes, in line with the conference theme, he said. Pedro stated that by showcasing the state's achievements, completed and ongoing projects, Lagos seeks to attract local and international investors, as the conference has offered a platform to highlight opportunities in the state, fostering economic development and growth. As the main host of this year's MBA conference, we must take it different by allowing people from all other states who have only been here for a few days to live with a memorable taste of what it feels like to live in Lagos, he said. Recall that the Justice Reform Summit was held earlier this year, bringing together the key stakeholder sector to discuss and address critical issues related to economic growth, investment protection, and security. The Attorney General pointed out that some of the reforms discussed would tackle certain issues that last more than 2 years, while landlord and tenant disputes will be resolved within 3 to 6 months. He alluded to future developments for magistrates, which would be disclosed in a few months, for emphasizing Lagos State's commitments to providing its judicial officers facilities to perform their duties effectively. The special Lagos Day at the MBA annual conference is a common success, providing attendees with a diverse mix of culture, innovation, and legal expertise, all infused with lively energy of Lagos State, the home of Quetzalcoatl. A former secretary to the Oyo State government, Michael Koleoso, is dead. He was aged 86. Koleoso, who was the SSG during the state Governor Lamadi Adesina administration between 1999 and 2023, was said to have died in the early hours of Monday, September the 2nd, 2024. He was the national chairman of the Deformed Alliance of Democracy. Meanwhile, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, had described Koleoso's death as the end of a glorious era. This was contained in a statement obtained by a correspondent in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, on Tuesday. The statement said, I received the news of the death of Baba Michael Koleoso, the Babalaje of Saki, with shock and sadness. I have lost a great patriot and a selfless leader, one of the last men standing in the march of leaders who gave their all to make Nigeria a better place. People who know me know that I had a special bond with Babalaje. I held him as a father and had the utmost regard for him, as he was an upright, and courageous leader who spoke truth to power. We have relied on his guidance and wealth of experience in guiding our great state to greatness, and Babalaje did love this state days. I express condolences to the Koliosho family of Saki, his political family spread across the state and Nigeria, as well as people of Saki and Oyo State. It is the end of a glorious era, and we can only pray to God to grant repose to the soul of our Baba. Born into the family of Emir Bata of Saki in April 30th, 1938, Koli also had his primary education at Baptist Primary School, Ajegule, Shaki, and later proceeded to the famous Olivet Baptist High School in Oyo, where he was from 1957 to 1961. He later proceeded to the School of Hygiene, Ele Ibadan, for his ordinary diploma in 1965, then went for his advanced certificate, today's equivalent of HND, in 1965 and 1966. The late politician joined the civil service of the Western Region with the position of head of the health department of the old Saki District Council. He spent years in the service before dabbling into other businesses. His first establishment was SMAC Nigeria Limited, which exists today and focuses on commodity distribution, transportation, real estate, and hospitality. His entrepreneurial ability soon became legendary, just as did his lifestyle of order, balance, discipline, and self-restraint. Koli also was elected unopposed as councillor in the Edakbo local government area of the old Oyo State in 1976 and 1979. He was selected into the Oyo State House of Assembly as the representative of Ifedakbo constituency on the platform of the Chief Obafemi Awolowo-led Unity Party of Nigeria. Do not forget, we are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. X, formerly known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. To the rest of the news, about 70 local farmers have been reported killed by gunmen suspected to be members of the dreaded Boko Haram terrorists group in Mafa village, Tarmuwa local government area of Yobe State. Reporters said that government invaded the village on Sunday evening, setting houses ablaze and killing an unspecified amount of locals. The Yobe State Police Command have confirmed the attack, but couldn't give details on the day of the invasion. However, fresh details in the aftermath of the attack indicated that the victims' bodies are now being collected and prepared for burial today, which is Tuesday, in Babangida town, the headquarters of Tarmuwa local government area. According to sources, the attack was carried out in retaliation for the villagers allegedly providing intelligence to the military, which had led to the killing of several insurgents. Reacting to the event, Audu Bulama Bukar, an advocate of human rights, rule of law, peace and social justice based in the UK, which is the United Kingdom, who registered his displeasure over the attack on innocent citizens, also assured the nation's security forces to redouble their efforts to prevent a resurgence of violence in the northeast. He said Boko Haram had issued an ultimatum on 30th August ordering the villagers to leave. Despite this explicit threat, no security personnel were deployed to protect the community, leaving them utterly defenseless. Their only crime was helping the security forces. It is this sense of fear of retaliation and abandonment that is discouraging communities in the affected areas from assisting the military. Boko Haram attacks on civilians have been on the rise recently, following a period of relative calm. If we lower our guard, Boko Haram could rebuild and return even stronger. We have witnessed this before and cannot afford to repeat the same on his Facebook page. Do not forget you are watching Government and Public Service reports on your favorite Atlantic Television Network program. We'll be back after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now to the rest of our stories. Ex-President Muhammadu Buhari has applauded the contributions of Bill and Melinda Gates as well as Aliko Dangote Foundation to humanitarian and developmental activities in Nigeria. Meeting with the duo on the sidelines of the 74th United Nations General Assembly in New York, the president said they had touched humanity in many positive ways. He congratulated them, saying, for achieving what you had set out to do. According to a statement by the Special Advisor SA on Media and Publicity Chief Femi Adesina, the president added, "Thanks for deriving pleasure in helping people. Congratulations to you for returning part of your wealth to the people in diverse ways. Whatever we save in areas in which you have intervened, we can deploy to other areas like building of infrastructure. On agriculture, in which Dangote makes huge investments, President Buhari noted that farmers are very happy in Nigeria now, as we have made fertilizer available, cut the price by half, and given many other incentives. They have no regrets going back to the lands. The more we invest in agriculture, the better for us." Mr. Gates congratulated President Bola Tinubu has commiserated with the Yaradua family over the passing of Yajia Dada. Yajia Dada, made mother of the late former president Umaru Musa Yaradua, and the late General Shehu Musa Yaradua, passed away on Monday at a venerable age. President Tinubu, in a statement issued by the spokesman, Chief Ajuri Ngelale, also extended his condolences to Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, the people of Katsina, and to the many lives that the late matriarch touched. The president mourned Hajia Dada, yet extolled her legacy of compassion, faith, honesty, and good fellowship. President Tinubu prayed for the repose of the soul of the deceased and affirmed that the beloved and remarkable matriarch of the Yaradua family will always be remembered for the support, peace, joy, and comfort she offered to many. Federal government has rubbished reports on social media suggesting that the Ministry of Petroleum had ordered NNPCL to sell fuel at 1,000 naira per litre above the approved pump price, a report intending to mislead the public and cause panic which is devoid of truth, circulating in the media, had maliciously claimed that the Minister of Petroleum, Honorable Henneken Lukbobiri, also asked NNPC to select fuel at 1,000 naira. But in a swift reaction, the federal government, in a statement on Tuesday, signed by Nnemeka Okafor, special advisor to the Minister of State for Petroleum, made available to newsmen, said the reports were rubbish, noting that it was concocted and ill-conceived to sow discord and confusion in the oil industry. According to Nnemeka, there was never a time federal government interfered with petroleum pricing with NNPCL, let alone give directives for price increments. She said, the federal government is compelled to address the outright falsehoods currently being circulated on social media, which claims that the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources of Oil, Henneken Lukbobiri, has directed the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, which is the NNPCL, to inflate petroleum prices above the approved pump price. We categorically condemn these claims as baseless, malicious, and a deliberate attempt to incite public discontent. We challenge anyone in possession of any evidence, be to written documents, audio, or video recordings that support these fabrications, to make it public. Such a claim is entirely devoid of truth, should be recognized as an intentional effort to mislead the public. It must be stressed that NNPCL operates as an independent entity under the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA, with a fully empowered board of directors. The Ministry of Petroleum Resources does not and will not interfere in the internal decisions of NNPCL, including pricing matters. Any suggestions otherwise is incorrect and reveals a profound misunderstanding of the deregulated nature of Nigeria's petroleum sector. The Minister of Petroleum, Lukbobiri, merely elaborated on why fuel smuggling and pipeline vandalism cannot stop. He said if NNPCL imports PMS and sells to marketers at perhaps 600 naira or below, there is no way that smuggling can stop. When smugglers are taking the products outside the country, even if all the policemen on the road, they are Nigerians, you and I know the answer. It must be noted that most people haven't come to terms with the fact that since the PIA was passed and signed in 2021, NNPC has moved from a government entity to a limited liability company, and as such, doesn't take orders from the federal government, and its decisions can't be influenced. The co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, will be in Nigeria today to discuss health challenges, innovations, and efforts of boosting nutrition in Africa. This forms part of the foundation's ongoing commitment of Africa's development. Gates, alongside other foundation leaders, will meet with experts in primary health care, agriculture, and nutrition, national and local leaders, partners, guarantees, and innovators who are driving progress across the continent. Despite economic challenges, he will also participate in a Pan-African virtual dialogue focused on addressing malnutrition through integrated healthcare, agriculture, and financing solutions. For this dialogue, Gates will be joined by musician, educator, and humanitarian John Baptiste on why the foundation invested in Africa's development. It said, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation believes that solutions to Africa's greatest challenges can come from within Africa. This is why the foundation supports African partners whose bold ideas and creative approaches have the potential to save lives, improve health, and help families across the continent. Since the foundation's inception in 2000, it has supported partnerships within African region, institutions, national governments, and local communities in 49 African countries, including Nigeria, to contribute funding and scientific expertise in support of their agendas for change. These partnerships have driven the success of numerous health, agriculture, equality, and anti-poverty initiatives. The foundation has committed more than $7 billion through 2026 to support African countries and institutions working to develop and implement innovative approaches to confront hunger, disease, gender inequality, and poverty. The foundation works with African governments, the private sector, organizations, and civil society to improve health outcomes, boost agricultural productivity, expand access to digital financial services and empower women and other marginalized populations with great economic opportunities. Federal Republic of Nigeria has underscored its commitment to deepening ties with Indonesia, highlighting the untapped economic potential and promising avenues for collaboration. This was affirmed during the second Indonesia-African Forum held from September 1 to 3rd, 2024 in Bali, Indonesia, representing President Bola Ahmed, Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, led the Nigerian delegation to the high-level multi-stakeholder partnership and the joint leaders session. The minister reiterated Nigeria's dedication to fostering a strong partnership with Indonesia, emphasizing that both regions stand to gain significantly from enhanced cooperation in trade, investment, and the exchange of knowledge and expertise. The forum highlighted the significant economic and demographic potential of Africa and Indonesia, which together represent over 1.7 billion people and a combined GDP of 4.4 trillion United States dollars. The event brought together several heads of state, government officials, business leaders, and stakeholders from across the region to discuss economic cooperation, to address global challenges and explore avenues for mutual sustainable growth and development. Nigeria's leadership in advancing the African Union Agenda 2063 was also a focal point during the discussions. The minister emphasized President Tinubu's comprehensive agenda of economic reforms, security, governance, and social development at the national level, as well as his efforts to enhance regional trade, infrastructure, and political stability through his leadership in economic community of West African states. Nigeria's active participation in the African Continental Free Trade Area was noted as a key driver for boosting intra-African trade and industrialization. Nigerian police on Monday declared a British national, Andrew Wayne, also known as Andrew Povich, and a Nigerian, Lucky Obiyan, wanted for allegedly plotting to overthrow the democratically elected government in the country. The police accused the British national of building a network of sleeper cells to topple the government and plunge the nation into chaos. Addressing journalists in Abuja, the force spokesperson, Muyiwa Adejobi, said Wayne rented a space at Labour House and established a school to serve as a decoy. He said the Nigerian police force has launched a comprehensive investigation into the activities of foreign, national, and subversive elements plotting to undermine the democratically elected government in Nigeria through unconstitutional regime change and orchestrating violence across the country. Adejobi said documentary evidence and confessions revealed that Wayne provided finance and operational guidance to allegedly topple an elected government in the country. Adejobi said Wayne and his local coordinator Obiyan had fled the country. Meanwhile, recent reports reaching us now on this matter are that Andrew Wayne has denied plotting to overthrow President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Wayne said he is not on the run and is more than ready to speak to the Nigerian authorities on the allegation. Wayne's wife said that her husband is being accused falsely by a Nigerian who is owing him money. Quoting him, he says, "I am more than happy to talk to the police. I am happy to have a discussion with them on several media platforms or on a video call. I am more than happy to go to London to meet with officials from the Nigerian High Commission. If they want to start a conversation, then I think that I am more than adequate." And that is more than adequate, sorry. Wayne's Nigerian wife said that her husband is being falsely accused by a Nigerian who is owing him money. She alleged that the Nigerian is looking for ways to throw Wayne out of the country to avoid paying his debts. My husband is being falsely accused. He has never been a terrorist. He is being accused because of one Mr. Olumide who is owing him and not ready to pay him. The case is in court even now, so he is just doing anything he can to intimidate him and throw him out of the country. Moving on. Rising inflation rates will force Nigerian households to spend the largest amount of their earnings on food in the next 6 months. A recent survey by the CBN, which is the Central Bank of Nigeria, has shown this is as the most recent report by the National Bureau of Statistics puts the inflation rate at 33.40% and rising, and food inflation over 40% and rising. According to the CBN report, the poll was conducted from July 22nd to 26, 2024, with a response rate of 99.7%. And with its sample size drawn from the NBS master sample list of 1,665 households in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. The report, named Household Expectations Survey, published on its website, the CBN said many Nigerians intend to cut down on items that are not essential in the next 3 and 6 months. They, however, plan to spend 54.9% of their income on food items in the next 6 months. On the flip, the respondents do not plan to spend a substantial amount of income on big-ticket items, such as purchase of a house, car, and household appliances. Also, Nigerians do not intend to spend on investments, such as acquiring landed properties or other forms of investments. They equally do not plan on saving their incomes. Analysts have expressed uncertainty of dependability as it concerns the operations of the NNPCL as regulated by the Petroleum Industry Act. Speaking at Atlantic Television Network program, Open Conversation, a socio-political analyst, Govt&Jamila, maintained that the laws regulating the nation's crude industry is not economically stable.
Industry Act, sorry, the various petroleum laws that were existing in Nigeria, to the extent that the only difference is that it made NNPC a public going concern, and therefore allows for a period of time where the individuals can buy into the shares and become stakeholders, and that the NNPC, by so doing, having listed in the stock exchange market, will now begin to be operated within.
Speaking further, Mr. Jamila emphasized on the need for best practice and administration in the NNPCL.
Code of governance, and therefore is setting a precedence for how companies should be regulated, the board of directors and whatever organs of the company as the case may be. If you look some days ago, if it's up to a week, where a sister station like yours, where some set of directors were asked to leave within a period of time between now and I think.
ATN recalls former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has stated that contrary to the claim by Nigerian Petroleum Corporation Limited to be a private firm, it remains the ATM of the federal government. Atiku further demanded the listing of the corporation, NNPC, on the exchange, the Petroleum Industry Act. And this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network in the great city of Port Harcourt. I'm King David Obasi. Thank you so far for staying with us. You can stay connected with us on our socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, actually known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net, or just live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. Up next is International Tidbits with Victor Peter.